loves, my name is Iphannie, and this is the Iphanniebgentle podcast, where we tackle topics such as culture, entrepreneurship, parenting, relationships, trauma, and much more. Facing your fears becomes harder the older you get. Some people are so content with what they know, they begin to fear the unknown. I did not grow up skating, so when I saw an ad for a pair of really cute skates, I instantly wanted them. However, I knew that because I had the worst balance, I would likely fall really hard and hurt myself. However, I was still interested in skating. I told myself this year I would face my fears head on, no matter how big or small, and conquer them all. So when my mom bought me the skates that I really wanted for Christmas, I immediately started to look for local skating rinks. Not ones that had ever occurred to me to look for local skating rinks before, just because honestly I was terrified of falling. I had a bad fall back in high school, not from skating, I was hiking, and I ended up hurting my left wrist, and I had a cyst in my wrist that I had to get surgery for to remove it. And ever since then, I've been afraid of falling for some reason. Of course, it was a little traumatizing for me because I fell pretty far up off of a cliff, but you would think that because I fell from that high and I'm still here that skating would be a piece of cake, but it's not. So it really made me realize that I was holding my son back from experiencing things like going skating at a skating rink and experiencing those falls, which will help him get back up on his feet and keep trying. So today I was able to face one of my fears, and I realized I really enjoyed the activity. I went to a skating rink with Chandler today, and we put on our skates. We put on them skates, baby. I bought him some skates yesterday. I actually bought him some inlines. I have the 2x2s, but I bought him some inlines, and last night when we got home, we practiced a little at home just so that we can get accustomed to how the skates feel on our feet, and we can just get ready to skate and do the big one at the skating rink. So of course, in the beginning, I had those really shaky jerks where you're about to fall, so your body jerks forward, which helps you kind of like regain your balance. It really doesn't, but that's what I tell myself. I thought about renting one of those skate stands that help you stay standing while you skate, but when they told me that thing was $4, I said, no ma'am, no Pam, it's not gonna happen. So we just thugged it out and we skated. But after about 30 minutes of skating without that little railing thing, I decided to purchase the railing thing so that Chandler could feel more comfortable skating. Again, I have the 2x2 skates, the roller skates. He has a roller blades. So of course the stance is completely different. The feeling of the skates on your feet are completely different. Your ankles are completely different. It's a little hard for me to teach him how to rollerblade, especially because I do not know how to rollerblade. My sweetheart, that's his thing. He doesn't like the 2x2s. He likes inline skates. I like the inline skates because I feel like I have a little bit more control. So, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to get the roller skates that I can maintain my balance on because of the configuration of the wheels. All in all, we had a really good time. Like, we really had a ball. We skated for about an hour and a half, and I was able to face my fear, and on top of that, I did not fall. I kept telling myself, like, I don't want to fall. I want to make sure that I'm staying upright and I'm carrying myself a certain way so I don't fall and hurt myself. And if I did fall, to fall a certain way, because there's a right and a wrong way to fall if you did not know. If I did fall, to fall a certain way so that I did not hurt myself. And guess what? I did not fall. I'm so proud of myself. Even with Chandler stumbling all around me, I didn't fall. I didn't hurt myself. I was able to recover from the little jerks that I did do in the beginning. I didn't hurt my back. I didn't hurt my knees. I didn't hurt my hips. I know, I sound old as hell. I'm only 29, guys. I'm only 29. But I did not hurt myself like I thought I would. Chandler suffered a few falls, but after talking to him and make sure he was okay, he got back up and he kept trying. Needless to say, he had a great time. He really enjoyed skating despite his falls. And there were times where he asked me not to skate with him. He was like, Mom, don't skate with me. You sit right here. I'm going to skate. I want to skate by myself. Allow me to do it by myself and without the guardrail. When I say I was so shook, I was shooketh, okay? I was shook because that was the moment that I realized that he's not a baby anymore. He's not a baby anymore. He was so proud of himself because not only was he able to skate and like really figure it out himself. He was determined to skate by himself, but he was also so proud of himself because he did not give up. And that's a big thing. Like my son, he's very emotional, he's very sensitive. He's a Sagittarius, okay? He's a Sagittarius, end of the month Sagittarius, end of November Sagittarius, and he is very emotional. He will have a fit. He will have a full-on fit if things are just not going his way. He's very competitive as well. And so when he feels like he's not achieving what he wants to achieve or accomplishing what he wants to accomplish, he starts to kind of like talk down on himself in a way like, I can't do it. I don't like this. That I don't like that I can't do this. And I'm like, it's okay, baby. We got this. Like, a little bit at a time, we're going to get where we need to go. We need to accomplish this goal. This is the goal that we set out for himself. We're going to accomplish it. We just have to take more time than we thought. But we're still going to accomplish it. And I'm starting to see that I have to change my verbiage a little bit so that he's more comfortable in the way that he is with how he operates. He's more comfortable in the way he thinks. He's more comfortable in like, he understands that everyone doesn't get it on the first try. It's so tough because his dad is really good at everything. Like, he really is. He's good at all the sports. He told me, like, when we first met, he was like, yeah, you know, I play basketball. And I'm like, you are short as fuck. Like, they about to mop your ass up. No, they did not mop his ass up. He was mopping them up being that short. And I was like, how? And then he was like, I play football too. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I have family that plays sports. So we had a cousin's day and they played sports. And he was out there running them. And then he was like, yeah, I can skate too. And I'm like, no, you can't. We went ice skating, baby. If y'all saw my vlog on us ice skating, you would understand. We went ice skating, and when I say, he was like looking at me like, you are skating so terrible. And I was like, I know, I'm really bad at this stuff. And he was so good at it. I was like, what is going on here? There's no way that you're good at everything. Everything that he's told me he's good at, he's good at. So I think Chandler thought that he would be the same way, and that's okay. We just have to practice a little bit more, and we're gonna get to where we want to go. So that's that. But seeing your baby learn the lesson, when you fall, you get back up, because that's the only way you're gonna remain standing and keep pushing forward. It's such a proud moment for a parent, because again, you see so many of these kids, they beat themselves up when they don't do something right, or they can't get something done right the first time. And it's amazing to see him like be determined and keep pushing forward. Before we got there, he was like, Mom, I don't want to fall in front of all these people. I don't want to be embarrassed. And I'm like, Chandler, you don't ever gotta see these people a day in your life again, baby boy. Never again. Never again. It's not about them. It's about you. You need to go. You need to have a good time. You need to have fun. You need to be appreciative of the things, the experiences that you're about to experience, because not a lot of people can say like, hey, my mom took me skating, or hey, my dad took me hiking, or some people don't get those experiences with their parents, and those are the experiences that are so priceless. And so it was very important for me to have this bonding moment for him, or with him. And yeah, I was so proud of him. Shout out to you, Chandler. You make me so proud every single day. He's just growing. He's 7, y'all. He's 7 years old. He's growing. He's blossoming. He is becoming a big boy. It's still blowing my mind. So I say all this to say, facing your fears can be a humbling experience, but a very rewarding one. In order to move forward and grow, you must face your fears, no matter how big or small those fears are. The more mental blocks you break down, the more likely you are to achieve what you set out to achieve. I have been in awe of all the people reaching out with their stories about everything that they've been going through and asking for advice, or just like using it as a teachable moment. I really thank you guys for entrusting me with your stories and asking for advice, because you don't have to do that. So I do have an email from one of my gentle giants. They reached out for some advice about facing your fear of failure and taking on new challenges in the upcoming year, which my year is all about taking on new challenges, facing your fears, and overcoming them. So if you guys have any advice for this gentle giant, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and leave your advice in the comment section or under my post on Instagram, as well as on Anchor, or even here on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have your own story and you would like, or you would like some advice, please feel free to email me at the Iphanniebgentle podcast at gmail.com and put WWID in the subject line, or you can head over to my website at www.iphanniebgentlepodcast.com and send in your questions or comments to my advice column. You can make yourself anonymous, or you can just change the names in the story. I mean, who really gonna tell? Can't nobody tell. So this email reads as follow. The title says, failure isn't an option. And I know that's right. It's already resonated with me, sis. Okay, so it says, hey, love, I have been listening to your podcast for a few weeks now, and I realized that you never really touched on the topic of fear and failure, which that's very true. I decided to write in because I've been going through it. Here's my backstory. I have been working at my company for over 15 years. Baby, that's almost as old as I am, okay? Or at least half my age. I was a financial manager for a large corporation, and although my job was intended to be my career, I have come to realize in the past few years, since the pandemic, of course, it's always the pandemonium, okay? Since the pandemic, that I am not happy in my career choice anymore. During the pandemic, I started a candle side hustle, okay, because I could never really find a candle that embodied what I wanted. I felt like during COVID, it was the perfect time to experience new things and find something that would pique my interest. I quickly realized I fell in love with candle making. Not only was it calming, but it allowed me to let out my creativity, which was completely different from what I did Monday through Friday. I would make candles on the weekends for friends and family and sell it to them for a very reasonable price. And when one of my friends told me that I should look into possibly making this a business, I laughed at it. I always thought, who would buy candles from me when there's places like Bath & Body Works and Walmart and Target? Okay. My friend bought a few of my candles and gifted them to some of her family members during the holidays. I suddenly began to experience a large portion of orders streaming in after that. Shout out to your friend, okay? That's a real one right there. Needless to say, my candle side hustle has grown tenfold. I am now coming home from my corporate 9 to 5 to make candles every night to keep up with the orders. I don't have any children, so I don't have to worry about splitting my time between my kids and my side hustle. But I believe that my business can possibly grow to a level that I never intended it to grow. However, I am scared. I come from a large family. I'm the oldest of 10 kids, and my parents recently died. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry for you. My condolences. My mom passed away right before the pandemic, and my dad passed away in the middle of the pandemic. Damn. And all the financial burden has been on my shoulders ever since. My 2 younger siblings are twins and are in college currently, and I am helping them pay for their tuition. During the weekends, they come down from their university and help me with my side hustle. I am paying them. Okay, so they have a little job. They have asked me to turn my candle side hustle into a real company, but I'm afraid that I will fail. In order to keep up with the amount of orders that I get per week, it would be more realistic for me to quit my corporate job. However, I'm terrified that my candle making side hustle will not remain lucrative for much longer. During the pandemic, everyone wanted to shop a small business or small Black owned business, and everyone's sales spiked because of this. But now I'm afraid that within the next few years, all of the shopping with the Black owned businesses or small businesses will go away, and people will no longer seem interested in my side hustle. Do you think I should quit my corporate job and follow my dreams of growing my side hustle into a lucrative business? Does it make sense to give up the 15-year plus I have put into this company where I am no longer happy and follow a passion of mine that has made me extremely happy during some of my darkest times of losing both of my parents? My fear is not being able to financially support myself, but also not being able to financially support my family because of this decision. Signed, Scared of Going Broke. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sending in your email. Again, condolences to your family. and to you, because that is a tough one. I couldn't imagine losing either one of my parents. And especially during COVID, it's really, really tough. So praying for you. I'm so sorry that happened. I will say that when I started Gentle Beauty IBG, I wasn't in it for the money. I know that sounds crazy. I wasn't in it for the money. I really wanted to, try something different. I really enjoyed doing my makeup, and there was some times where I felt like things that I saw or like makeup that I can purchase wasn't exactly, I was like, ooh, if I tweak it like this, if I tweak it like that, this would be the perfect X, Y, and Z. And I really enjoyed kind of the experience of making lipsticks, coming up with new colors, creating a whole brand in general, which included like making the logo, creating the color scheme, the designs, the packaging. I created everything by myself. And I was extremely blessed to be able to do that during the pandemic and actually see people be interested in my products. However, being a business owner is very scary. It really is, because one minute you can get hundreds and hundreds of orders, hundreds of thousands of orders, and then the next minute you can get literally no orders for days, weeks, months, even a year at a time. If you want to chase your dream, and if you want to make sure that it's lucrative, I mean, there's literally no way to say that it would be lucrative. It's hard. Like, I know right now a lot of people are into candles. They love a good candle, especially like a soy candle. Some people like coconut candles. They have so many different things, and you can't please everybody. But if you have people shopping your brand and like really, really reaching out to you to make sure that they're a part of your journey, I would say go for it. I wouldn't say like quit your job or anything, because that's a hard one. Quitting your job, that's a hard one. But at the same time, if you make sure all your ducks are in a row, I'm talking like your LLC, you have your EIN, all your copyright information, your trademarks, your business licenses, your business bank account, all of that needs to be in order, because a lot of times people don't realize that when they are starting a business, there are certain things that have to be in order to make sure it's a fully functioning business and it's a properly functioning business. And you got to make sure that you have like I said, like your business bank account, like all that stuff, keep it separate from your regular stuff. Keep all your paperwork. Make sure you set up a website, or if you're going to sell your candles through Etsy or something, make sure you have all of your paperwork in order. Because one of my biggest fears is getting in trouble with the IRS. So you want to make sure that also when you're dealing with the IRS, like your whole tax situation, you want to make sure that you are dealing with someone, if you're not well versed in it. You said you work for a company and you deal with the finances, but so you should know like all of the tax information. Make sure you're well versed in taxes when it comes to a business, because it's completely different than like your personal taxes. And make sure you always educate yourself, even if you have to go back to school and take a couple of classes so that you're well versed in how to run a business and make sure it's a legit business. Be sure to do that, because you want to start your business off on the right foot, and you want to start a business and make sure that everything is in order so you don't get tripped up. Of course, certain things here and there are going to kind of throw you off, but just make sure you have everything in order. It's great that you have a lot of orders and it's becoming very lucrative for you. However, sometimes that can stop, so just prepare for stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you, because some people, they just take off and they just never stop taking off, but I'm saying that you got to plan for the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a business owner. I'm not sure what you compare like lucrative is compared to like what you're working now. However, I want you to be very educated in what you need to succeed in your field. Like, I feel like when I launched my business, I just had a vision and I said go, and that's what the hell I did. I went. There's certain things that I feel like I should have educated myself better on, and then I would be straight. Like, I would be good to go. But it's okay, because when you're a business owner, especially a small business owner, you start learning as you go. There's people I have a friend, and we started a business around the same time, and like I would ask her questions and she'd be like, I don't know the answer, but I'm about to figure it out. And we would be up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, literally trying to figure it out. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Like if starting your company and really being this great large business that can help sustain your lifestyle and the lifestyle that you're giving to everyone else in your family, if that is your dream, make sure that you are well versed in everything from day one. And if you don't know the answer, don't be like, oh well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. No, because sometimes crossing that bridge when you get there is too late. My biggest fear, apart from dealing with the IRS, is having my business taken from me because I wasn't well versed. I wasn't educated enough in what I needed to do. So make sure that you're constantly educating yourself. Make sure that if you don't know the answer, you're going to find out, okay? Don't have somebody tell you like, oh, well, you don't need that right now. Oh, no. I also want to tell you, if you're not happy in your corporate job anymore, sometimes you have to take a step back. I have learned during this whole pandemonium that living in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, life is too short. You can't do it. You cannot live in the, damn, I should have followed my first mind and really worked on my candle business. Damn, I could have set my family up for generational wealth, or I would have blown up if I was able to do X, Y, and Z and take my family on these lavish family vacations and really done something that maybe no one else in my family was ever able to do, but they had the dream of doing, but I had the courage to do it. It takes a lot of courage to start a business. It really does, because you're going to hear a lot of no's. There's going to be some things that you're going to be like, damn, I wasn't able to do that, but I'm going to try. I'm going to keep on pushing until I can achieve that. Right now, I'm in kind of like limbo with my business, and that's okay. Like sometimes you got to take a step back. You got to reevaluate your game plan with your business and then push forward again. And that's where I'm at right now with mine. Do I regret starting my business? Absolutely not. I faced my fear. I put myself out there, and I was pleasantly surprised at the support I got. I surely was. And I'm just saying, like, you need to make sure you know what you want to do. Make sure if you want to make this like a family thing, you have all that figured out. Make sure you have your technicalities figured out, and then go. Just go. Because I'm going to tell you this. With a corporate job or any job that's not like your personal job, I saw this thing where they were like, why are you putting in a 2-week notice when they can fire you at any time? And they're not going to tell you like, hey, in 2 weeks you're going to be out of a job. They tell you like, this is your last day. So they're not really thinking about how you feel or what you offer, what you bring to the table. So maybe you need to put yourself first. The pandemonium has definitely made me feel like put myself first, figure out what I need to figure out, and push myself to really get what I want out of life, because you only get one. If you believe, in Christianity and no reincarnation stuff, you only get one life. So make sure you live it to the fullest. And if you have been working at your corporate job for 15 years, I think, is it 20 years you can retire? If you can retire in 5 years, if you could do both for 5 years, realistically, that's something I would do. I would do both for 5 years so I can hit my 20 mark. Well, you said 15 plus. So if it's like 16, 17 years and you only got a couple more years left and then you can retire, I would say do that, but still work on your business. And while you're doing that, perfect the little things. The little things like the communication with the customers, your website, the checkout. Like, I never realized a lot of people will click off of your website if the checkout is too confusing. If they're asking for way too much information and it's just like, okay, I'm still filling stuff out, I just want to buy the damn thing. It gets confusing like that. People will click off your website and be like, never mind, I don't even want it no more. So perfect the little things, the things that, look at your business. Look at, like, if you have a website, for example, look at your website and say, I'm going to judge or critique this website as if it was not mine. And really say like, hey, if I'm shopping on this website, I want it to look like this. I want it to look like that. I want the easy checkout like this. I want to be able to say, hey, this is my recent orders. I can go back and sign into my little user profile on my website and say, these were what I ordered. I want to order these again, and just press reorder, and boom, I get it back. I get it shipped right back to my door. I don't have to go looking through the whole website, doing X, Y, and Z. Stuff like that will really propel you in the business industry. I promise you. And so I can't tell you to quit your job, because that's a tough decision. And you said that everyone in your family is like looking at you because you're the breadwinner, and that's something really, really tough. So I can't say like quit your job today and start and put 100% into your thing. But I'm not saying don't put 100% into your business, because where I slacked off is I was doing my business, and I was doing school, and I was being a mom, and I was looking for a job. It was a lot. So if you can grind it out for the few more years to hit your 20-year mark, you can use that money that you make in corporate America and funnel that into your business. And when I say your business is going to take off, it's going to take off, because you're going to have the financial literacy. You're going to have the funding to get your business where you want it to be. And it's really going to take off. But you have to let go of fear. I know this turned into a whole little business rant, but you have to let go of fear. There's nothing worse than being afraid of succeeding. Because what's the worst that can happen? You can fail. That's it. But guess what? After you fail, you know what caused you to fail. And next time you just don't do that. And you keep on pushing forward. And you might fail in another, 5 steps forward, and it pushes you like 3 steps back. But okay, I did this and it pushed me 3 steps back. Let me not do that. And I'm going to keep trucking forward, and so on and so forth, until you get to your end goal. And that's what I'm learning now. I'm learning that, yes, sometimes I might be like, damn, I can't do this, or, oh, I don't want to do that. I tell my son, we are no longer saying the word can't in my household. That is a curse word now. Because we lean on that crutch of I can't, or I'm afraid of, or I'm scared. We lean on that, or failure. We lean on those crutches so much that it becomes debilitating. And then we are no longer able to achieve what we actually could achieve. We just talked ourselves out of it. So don't talk yourself out of following your dream. Stop telling yourself that you're afraid of failing. Because trust and believe, the people that created light, the black man that created light, like the light bulb, you know how many times he had to fail before he perfected the light bulb? Come on, bro. You cannot. I mean, what would we do without light? We still be lighting fires. Like, this is very primitive. Like, we cannot. So guess what? Your candle company, and speak positivity. I'm saying this year, everything I feel, I'm speaking positivity into it. I'm speaking life into it. My business will be back booming. I will be more dedicated to my business, more dedicated to my education, more dedicated to my child, more dedicated to my relationship, more dedicated to my household, more dedicated to myself, more dedicated to my mental health, and more dedicated to putting my time and my energy into who and what matters the most. If my business matters the most at that moment, that's what I'm putting my energy in. If my child matters the most at that moment, that's what I'm putting my more of my energy in. I'm going to stop holding myself back and telling myself, oh, I got time. Oh, I got time. Oh, not right now. Oh, I'm tired. Girl, you can sleep when you dead. Okay, we're going to figure it out. We're going to grind it out. You got a few more years left at your company before I believe you can retire. I'm going to speak that into existence, okay? You got a few more years in your company before you can retire, and you can get that young pension. You can take all that and funnel it into your business, and I promise you, you're never going to work harder in your life than when you work on your own business. But I promise you, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so fulfilling. You're going to be so happy, and you're really going to be like, damn, I did it. I really did it. So that is my advice. Again, it was a whole rant, but that was my advice. And I think I needed that pep talk for myself. I needed that pep talk for myself so that I can get back on my shit. I need to get back on my shit. I cannot keep on saying like, okay, maybe tomorrow. No, tomorrow is right now. We're not doing tomorrow no more. We're doing it right now. So that is all for this episode. I really hope everything works out for you. Thank you so much for listening and writing in. I really appreciate you. I wish you nothing but light and love, and not only a trauma-free future, but a future that is fulfilling. And if your business fulfills you, you need to go after it. That is all for this episode. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, my name is Iphannie, and this is the Iphannie Be Gentle podcast. Besitos.